Hello, and welcome to... What is this called? Into the Wastelands, the Eternal Army. Wow. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Niall, and I'll be your DM. Oh, or will I? I don't know. Maybe I'll just have another breakdown. We'll see. We're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. For those of you who are new to Dungeons & Dragons, welcome. Everyone here plays a fantasy character set within the fantasy universe of Faerun. Wait, are we in Faerun? Are we kind of going? We're in like the Roll Together universe, right?
Adjacent to Faerun, unless it's on a different plane, Niall.
Exactly. Unless we're on a different plane. But this is the Roll Together universe. Welcome. These players have their own unique characters within that universe, and they have character sheets that tell them what they can and can't do. We roll these 20-sided dice, and that determines whether or not they succeed at the things that they wish to do. 20s are good. Ones are bad. Basically, high numbers is what we're all about. Low numbers, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But whilst these guys play their wonderful characters and everything else is played by one. That's the trees, the scenery, the music. Now, the music's done by an editor, but I play all the other characters. So, we come together, we make this amazing story. That's D&D. Hope that makes sense. I'd like to give our lovely players a chance to introduce themselves. It's episode 2, baby. We've got some new players, and I'd like you guys to just give your name, give your pronouns if you like, a little bit about your character, their name, their pronouns, and you know what? Let's have characters' favorite meal. I want to know more about your character's favorite meal. Michael, do you want to kick us off?
Well, let's start with the things I do know. Mike is he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Jamie Link. He's she, her. She's a Sorlock, so that's a little bit of information on her. But probably most of you have figured that out by now. And favourite meal? All she got was like stale bread and like a bit of mouldy cheese. So, like, anything, really, that just sort of is placed in front of her that isn't that, she'll probably, at the time, be like, yep, this is my favourite meal. Until the next one.
Wholesome upbringing, then, like a really,
it's just solid. Like, real love.
Yeah, makes sense. Evie, would like to kick us off again, please?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Malice, who uses he, him pronouns, who is a Psy warrior, fighter, drow, person thing. Does all of the hitting and yeah. And Malice's favourite meal is a home-cooked stew by his family's matriarch, and the meal is affectionately termed the mother's milk. No one really knows what goes into it, but it's very warming.
Wow.
I should say the matriarch is called the mother, so hence the...
Oh yeah, no, that's not
make it better, Evie. Doesn't make it better.
Look, I thought of the name and I ran with it.
It's beautiful, Evie. Liz!
Hello. Yes, I remember all the questions. Hello, my name is Liz. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Elder Green Juniper Lime Tree, who uses they, he pronouns. Favorite food? That was the question. I think being a turtle, we're going vegetarian, but I think given that we're a turtle who is crafty, not like crafty, but like makes things crafty, probably kind of makes pellets for themselves to eat. Like I've had a turtle once, and they used to get turtle feed, and they came in little pellets, and you drop them in the water and they eat them. So I guess Elder Green would make their own pellets.
Is that like I'm imagining like nuts and berries wrapped within a lettuce leaf?
Yes, yeah, and like tied together with some seaweed or something.
Very hot, like little snacks, snicky snacks.
Yeah, I might pull some out today.
Ooh, don't mind if I do.
That's
amazing.
Than what I was imagining, because I know some animals don't digest things all the way, so they poop out pellets to then eat again.
I mean, I'm sure they add some nutrition to the diet, but I wasn't going down that pellet route.
Okay.
Mother's milk
if you say
and poo pellets. That's where we're at so far, everyone.
You asked for this, Niall. You asked.
I did. I literally asked for it.
It always comes in to cook.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right.
My name
Please
also
take us away from the poop.
a freaking conversation. Hi, I'm Emma. I use pronouns Em or Emma, and I'm playing Reek, who is an Aarakocra, Kingfisher Aarakocra paladin, who uses any pronoun. Reek is, it should be fish, because Reek is Kingfisher, right? But I think Reek goes against their family and is actually, vegetarian.
I thought you were going to be like, he eats kings.
I mean, they could eat kings. It's probably in their life trajectory, but at the moment, vegetarian.
This is some point. I want to eat a king. That's what they say. I love it.
Excuse me, do you have any vegan kings on the menu, please? I'd very much like
King
to
of the
consume one.
Ents.
Are you gluten-free options? Amazing. G.
That bit. Hi, I'm G. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Vega, who also uses he, him pronouns, and is a large lion monk person. And favorite food, I guess meat, just like barbecue, basically. Brisket, steak.
Barbecue. I didn't see that. I didn't see that as a thing, but it makes so much sense now. I can see Vega like at the barbecue stand, kiss the chef, turning the sausages. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, my amazing players. Thank you very much for that. This stream will run for about 3 hours and be roughly 5 to 10 minute breaks somewhere in the middle. We're delighted to be sponsored by multiple sponsors, the first of which is Hero Forge, who offer fully customizable tabletop miniatures on their website. You can go on their website. You can make them in any position you like. They also print it in color. For those of you who can't paint or don't like painting, you can just print, boom, straight in color, and they have loads of coloring options and like loads of different lighting options. And they also have like a digital version as well, so you can have it as a digital overlay like we do. I mean, there's none around me, but around the players there will be. So yeah, do check out their pro membership for extra features at heroforge.com. We're also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. Ultra Pro are really, really, really amazing. They have some really cute products. Any to show, Anne?
I have one. Liz has one too.
Oh,
Liz
yes.
doesn't look like a smiley poo, so Liz wins this
You can make that one into a pellet,
These
just eat it again. Just
Oh no! Oh,
The
no.
circle of life. Carry on, Niall.
Oh god! These are the figurines of adorable power. They also do amazing stuff for your tabletop to get organized, like little character folios, books, notebooks, all the sorts of things. So head to Ultra Pro to get yours now. Check out the wonderful Elderwood Academy, who also have beautiful bespoke gaming gear like these hex boxes. And I think Liz has got some dice trays. Oh yeah. They look like spell books and then they open up. Oh yeah. Find them at elderwoodacademy.com. We're also supported by D&D Beyond, who are an amazing tool for playing D&D digitally. You should be able to have a link to the character sheets. I think the overlay is currently being worked on. And then there's Level Up Dice, who have these humongous D10s that are called Table Shakers, and that's our range. Oh yeah, baby. There's a link in the chat if you're interested. We're supported by 2 lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and Warriors of Waterdeep. You can see some of the codes at the bottom of the screen. For all of this information, the mods will help you out for discounts and all sorts. And also some wonderful, cool chest stuff for your games. I believe the gems for Warriors of Waterdeep. And then there's some really cool chest stuff, Electrum pieces, all that Electrum. So yeah, please ask the mods for that information and they'll give that for you. We are Roll Together RPG on all socials. And thank you very much to our D20 Club on Patreon who help us do what we do. So go check out our Patreon if you'd like to support us. Any money is welcome. You can just give your $1, £1, or more if you like. Our D20 Club is awesome, and they have set up a fan wiki for us, so check that out as well. And there's also a fan Discord, which you can join and talk to us. So yeah, please do. And then finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are transpositive, and we encourage champion trans players and trans DMs in our games. The players and DMs may portray characters that are different to their own gender, and we aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does sometimes happen. And we have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If you do think we've missed an instance of misgendering, we're open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think one's been missed. Thank you very much. And I believe it's time to start part 2 Electric Boogaloo of Into the Wasteland. The Eternal Army. So, welcome back. What happened last session? I don't know. I'll be honest. No, I'm joking. We started again. We had our party come together and then be ripped apart. Unfortunately, Veracity was torn away through interdimensional portals. Protea decided that, in fact, she wasn't going to do this king's bidding. This king could go fuck himself. And made the decision to walk from the fight. But we were joined, Jamie, Malice, and Vega, by 2 new players, or should I say adventurers. Reek, who'd come from Arkan Harassa and had been captured by the Eternal Army and potentially was going to be beheaded. But
Arkan Hassa, Niall,
Thank
not
you.
Arkan Harassa.
Oh gosh, I'm terrible at reading my own notes.
No, it's Arkan Harassa now.
Just in canon.
But wait,
on the
Arkan
wiki.
Harassa. Oh gosh, yes, Harassa. Oh god, I'm literally looking at them.
Don't say Harassa.
Harassa. Why? What is that? Is that like a?
I'm sure there's a harasser, like pepper or.
Is that I was
bean.
going to say?
That's
Is that like a
harissa.
pepper? Is
Harissa.
Harissa.
I can harissa. There we go. Done.
If I say Harissa, I'm going to start saying Larissa, which
Clarissa.
is another thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just going to divulge, isn't it? I mean, didn't I get, what, Shanae or something? I can't remember.
No,
Aika
Shanae
Cheeks,
was me
the
mispronouncing.
There we are.
Uh-huh. Go on.
So. Reek was a member of Arkanahasa. Was it citizen of Arkanahasa who'd come when they heard that the chance to free the city was going on, and was rolling in to fight Crichton with the rest of our team. Elder Green had switched places with Veracity and has no idea why yet, really. But together, through a very, very hard fight, they managed to take down Crichton, one of the Eternal Army members. And once they defeated him, Vega was sort of visited by one of those visions, one of the spicy visions that Vega's been having, and ended Crichton's life, I think is the best way to say that. Crichton's family had sort of come up and said that they wanted to talk to Vega later, but there was time to rest. Kron, one of the Eternal Army members who seems to see without sight, invited them to sit down to rest, to level up, as it were. And that is where we find our heroes currently at a dinner table within the main capital castle. The food itself isn't the finest. You gather that it's kind of war rations that the Eternal Army have brought with them. Though saying that, it's actually pretty decent. It's just not a lot. There's not like a big spread that heroes would be welcome to. It's kind of, there's someone literally creating food and water, and everybody's like, oh, cheers, Dave.
Do they have pellets, Niall?
They don't have pellets.
Do they have the
However,
mother's
I
milk?
feel like Elder Green, no, they won't have mother's milk. And if you ask Dave to do requests, he'll literally go, what?
They'll make me a pellet.
What? Just take an apple and go.
Oh,
But I quite like my pellets, Dave.
I don't know what a pellet is.
Well, I've got some of my own, so I suppose I'll make do, but I'm not sure about our flower over here, Malice, that he really wants his mother's milk. And
Well, I'm not your mum,
look at
so
that face, Dave. Look at that face.
Dave looks at Malice's face and just dead eye locks. I'm not your mum, so you're not having any of my milk.
Gross. No, it's stew. It's stew made by the mother.
Now Stu's over there.
Oh.
Couldn't help myself. I'd give myself inspiration if I he just looks at you and he's like, look, I've made fresh fruit here. Just enjoy it. It's the morning. Is it?
How much
I
fruit?
think it's turning into the evening, so maybe he's not made fruit. Maybe he's made other things. Maybe he's made nicer stuff. He's probably
there
made
fruit?
There's fruit. All right, you can have fruit for dessert, like dates and stuff like that. But in terms of like main meal, it's like cooked chicken. There is vegetarian options like paella.
Paella's got prawns in it.
Oh, damn it.
Paella.
This shows how much I know about life in general.
Well, don't hold
Quiche.
back on that fruit, Dave.
He's got
because-
quiche then. He's made a quiche.
If he turns around and says, I made all this fruit, I think like half of it's already gone. Just like,
No, it's not. Reeks into it. You guys, do you sit on like the benches that have been pulled out with the rest of the Eternal Army?
I follow the lead of the group.
Yeah, Jamie will just take a seat on the edge of whatever's the first she'd come across.
Nice.
Sit down.
If you do head over, Hitara's like at a table with a few spaces empty, and she sort of beckons you over.
Oh, good. I thought we were going to have to eat in the toilets.
do you often have to eat in toilets?
More often than you'd think.
What I'd think is never, so...
More often than never.
Hitara beckoning Vega would go over probably with a plate full of chicken.
Yeah. Malice is also doing this, going, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm off on one today. It's also going over.
Is Hitari the bandaged person?
No, Hitara was someone who Reek hasn't met yet. Hitara was one of the Eternal Army that gave themselves up within the settlement outside the city to basically wait for the rest, these people that were going to come try to, be brought. She knew that there were people that she needed to come find, and she gave herself up as like a sign of peace. And I think Malice sort of made a bit of a connection with Hitara.
Jamie will sort of like come up next to Reek and be just like, she pretty much took an entire sandworm on by herself. You'll probably quite like her.
How many times did she die, though?
But did you die though?
Did you fall unconscious though? Did you have to be healed though?
I just saw her fly in the air and literally punch her in the face. It in the face. So,
I mean, flying's not that impressive.
no. At least you might have something in common then. I'm trying to find some level ground for you both.
Sorry. Yes, I am new to this. And people, and hi.
Actually, Reek, roll me a history check.
It's going to go well. 9.
Okay. You vaguely recognize her, like because of you were probably in the settlement before you came here, and you recognize her. You're like, oh, she was the person that we had caged. She was like the prisoner of war that we had, but you didn't really talk to her. There was no interest in there, and you didn't really go near.
It's kind of familiar. She wasn't flying when I recall her, though.
Say again?
She wasn't flying, as I recall. But do you Have you been here long?
Probably only a few hours. I can't remember now. Yeah, not even. Yeah, a few hours. We only just arrived.
Why are you here?
Something about being the saviors of the city, some other stuff. Vega, the tall one over there, he's been dreaming about all sorts of stuff. Actually, I don't know if Vega's told us about any of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mike has mentioned having some weird visions.
Yeah. I feel like you've mentioned it.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember, and I thought, wait a minute, am I just giving him a... Yeah, the tall one's been having a rather fun time with visions. It's all rather exciting, I guess.
Sure. I mean, it's a city that needs intervention, so that's good. I'm glad that you're here to intervene. Do you mind if I sit with you?
Please. All the help we can get, I think, is the nice way to put it. And, I mean, you took a hell of a lot of damage on behalf of us, so you're fine by me.
It wasn't intentional.
Oh, well, I mean, either way.
Sorry. I was intending to fight. I just wasn't intending for it to hurt that much. That was new.
No. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been thrown about like that. But please, let's have some food. I'm sure it's been a long day for all of us.
Rika's like throwing grapes up and catching them in a beak.
Nice. Elder Green, do you join the group as well?
I think I will do. But Elder Green will be doing that typical Yorkshire person thing of talking to literally anyone that walks past them, as if they know them. And so whoever is passing me on my way to the whole group. Is everything all right? Pet, I'm loving your armor.
Can you roll me a just either what do you think? Persuasion or performance check?
I'm proficient in performance, but I think it's probably more persuasion. I'm not acting. It's just who Elder Green is. So we'll go with persuasion.
Cool.
10.
Okay, as you do so, there's this this sort of like large looming figure that you just sort of like bunch past. Oh, hello, how you doing? And they turn, and they are humongous, human build, even bigger than Kryden. Their head does seem to be like
Touched. Not like Cridence, because Cridence head's gone.
All right. Kryden was like quite a bulky man. This is like a juggernaut. This man is huge, and you notice as he looks down at you, as you say, like, "Yeah, having a good day." It's just this slow, like almost like movement down, and you can see this one eye just sort of glazed over in white, and then this other eye red, burning like iris, looking at you. And his teeth, even though human, you can almost see like tusks forming out of his bottom canines. And he looks down at you, his armor like barely containing his muscle mass. And he says, "Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it's been a long day."
You know, you look very well considering you've had a long day. Now, Petal Treasure, you look very strong and very tall, might I say so. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to have this little moment with you.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The cheese is over there.
So it's an accent thing. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm just going to go and join my friends, but if you want to come across later, love, feel free.
Ta.
You're welcome.
He just sort of looks confused and bemused and doesn't really know what to do with it. He's like holding a plate and he's like, and then he sort of like stumbles away.
And I'll continue my way to the rest of the gang.
Baffling members of the Eternal Army. I love it. As you join, Hitara's like looking at you all with her blue eyes, and she just sort of says, "That was a close one. I wasn't really sure that you'd make it through that for a while, but you
No, we
managed to.
had it right from the start. Like, no challenge at all.
Does Reek actually believe that?
Yeah, Reek believes that.
Atara's just gonna like, she just squints awkwardly, like, okay.
It was a harder fight than I expected, but, well, I think we proved our abilities.
Definitely. My father wasn't there, but I'm sure he heard I'm sure he's heard what's happened so far. And I think it's fair to say at least you'll have a chance to get your city back.
Wow.
And she like looks around for a second and notices like a few Eternal Army members are sort of like looking at you, but as she like looks at them, they like look away. And she just leans in and she goes, I know my father seems like a bad man and like everything you've been taught to hate. But we have together genuinely done a lot of good. There are things wrong with the way things happen here. I know that. But there's nothing I can do about that right now. But I promise that I'm going to try and change things. I just need you guys to help me, if you can.
Why are we whispering?
Because, and she sort of like looks over and there's like, there's that one with the tusks sort of like looking over at Elder Green, just like bemused still, waves, and then like,
I don't know who that is. We had a very nice encounter just earlier. Lovely one eye that I saw.
that's Tenor. But not everybody. My dad is cultivated loyalty. Very much.
From succeeding in this fight, have we made a fair few enemies, would you say?
No, if anything, you've made allies. And at that point, Vega, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And as you turn to see who it is, you see the four brothers of Crichton all looking at you. Can we have a word?
I have... Of course you can. Go ahead.
They sort of like gesture off to the side with them.
I think that anything you have to say to me, you can say in front of my friends.
They all like look at each other and they're like, the one with the black slicked back hair with green eyes looks at you and he turns to the one with red hair and holds his hand out, and the one with red hair hands him a box. He takes the box and sort of squishes down beside you. It's quite tight and quite uncomfortable, which is why you gather maybe he wanted to do this away from the table. But he slides you the box and he says, our brother lost his son quite a few years ago and wanted someone to carry on his legacy. He gave these to his son before he died and said that the man that killed him would earn them. It was a prophecy that Kron told us. And, well, there you go.
Probably cursed. And by the way, how did you know it was going to be a man?
Man just as a figurative term.
Right. You know that's not inclusive?
I mean, we do things really behind here. We are behind with the times, considering that we've lived for a long time. It's not an excuse, but we do need to figure that out. And then they all look at each other like, yeah. We should probably talk to Cron about that. He's been alive for too long.
You often find that older people are quite behind with the times.
We are thousands of years old.
Well, unnecessary gendering aside, thank you. I'm honoured. And I'll take the box and open it up.
Inside, you see some wonderful, like master-crafted braces. They have these wonderful white dragons embedded around them that have these blue eyes within each one. They are braces of defense that will give anyone who wears them a +1.
Cool.
To their AC.
I slide them on.
They pat you on the shoulder, and then they get up and they leave.
Cool.
First.
Say
Is it
again?
inappropriate? Am I being inappropriate?
I mean, say
You're
your own
very
thoughts.
serious.
Yeah, you've joined a rather serious situation. I mean,
It's been serious
Can't
for a
deny
long
your-
time.
your lightened view on the whole thing is actually quite refreshing. I'll give you that.
It's so tedious, isn't it? Oh, wait. Son died. Here's some things. Wait. We're so serious. You think it's tedious?
It's just about tradition and ceremony. That has a lot of meaning for some people.
Especially old people, apparently.
Well, yes.
Very old people. How are they thousands of years old?
They're very agile, considering.
Hitara's just like watching this conversation, like, I'm right here, but it's cool. She's like, oh, yeah, we kind of are
Mortal.
descended from gods. We're called the Godborn.
There's no need to brag. It was the way you said it, Niall. I'm sorry. We're called the Godborn.
It's just what we're called. Like,
Who by?
That's
Do you
what-
call yourselves that, or do other people call you that?
well, when I was born, I was told that was what I was. So
Oh, you called yourselves that.
I don't know. I just
Sorry,
live here.
I'm pulling your leg. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I'm Reek.
Hi, I'm Hitara.
very
Hitara,
nice
by
eyes.
the way, is sort of like medium build, strong, short black hair, with sapphire blue eyes, and like dark skin.
What do you do then? Like ice, more ice?
She doesn't move her mouth, but you all hear in your head, not exactly.
Cool.
Hello?
Why? Hang on. Why didn't you do that for the secret conversation?
I mean, Reek has a solid point there.
Her eyes just like go real like blue, but her face goes a real deep red. And then
It's really-
in all your heads, you just hear, I don't know. It's too far gone to retcon that, I guess.
So I'm sorry if this is a very personal question, Hitara. Elder Green Juniper Lime Tree, by the way. Why are your eyes blue? And my friend over the tall one, his one eye is red.
The other ones, they're bright green.
Oh, well, what I was told when I was young is that we're all descended from different gods. It's kind of random how we're born. Not everyone born from an eternal or a god born is actually, wow, I suddenly called them eternals, like the Marvel film. Not everyone who's descended from a god born is well, god born. Some of them live normal
They
lives.
wouldn't be God-born because there was no God involved in their creation. I've got this confused.
Kind of, but it's like within our genetic makeup. We just sort of, it's like part of our soul. Some of us don't get it and some of us do. And the ones that do live for a lot longer.
Where do you go when you die? Do you die? You do die. Where'd you go?
I don't know yet.
I'm done. That was very interesting. Thank you.
At that moment, or at this moment, should I say, you see Kron enter from a side room. And his his sort of like blindfold face sort of turns to you and he's like, I know where they are. And he like finger picks his way towards you. That's how he does it. And then when he arrived, yes?
So now, is this Kron whose head we removed last game?
No, Kryden
Oh,
was
Kryden.
the one whose
Sorry,
head
my
you
bad.
removed.
I was
Kron
like,
was the
ow.
one with the blindfold.
Got you,
with
yeah,
the
sorry.
hands that pluck at strings that no one can see. So yeah, Kron heads over and sort of gestures to you all sit down. Would you please come with me?
It's gonna hang back with Jamie because I want to ask a question, but I want to find out if it's appropriate first.
To allow that then, yeah, Vega will just nod and he'll kind of check that everybody's seeming to come with, but...
Would it be inappropriate to ask what god theirs is? Do you think that's rude?
I mean, out of all the people you could have asked, social cues is probably not my strongest suit, believe it or not. But sure. I mean, we'll find out whether it's appropriate and then we'll know from there.
Right.
Just imagine you like marching up.
Is it rude to ask you which god you're born from?
As you're saying, is it rude to ask which god you? And he looks at you. Which one I was born from? No, not at all. He like finishes the sentence with you as you walk. He just keeps walking as well. He's leading you through like
Oh wait,
little castles and stuff.
I want to guess. Can I guess? Malice, you guess with me.
Wait,
What's a god?
Gods are like...
No. I know what a god is. It's on the tip of my tongue. Sorry, I'm not the most pious of...
No. I know about a couple of gods. Now, remind me who's the god here that I'm supposed to worship.
It's all right. As you're trying to remember it, they just say it's not Maglabiah.
Praise be to Maglabiah.
And then you feel like his eyes rest upon you, Vega, even though he's like, he just sort of turns his head towards you as you're walking and then continues to walk.
Maybe it's Ilmata.
It's,
who?
Oh, sacrifice. Like died to save other people.
My manifestation, I believe, comes from Cerberus. For I have the gift of foresight and prophesizing.
No shit.
How many fingers have I got held up behind my back?
How many fingers do you have held up behind your back?
But no, you have to guess. I can't just tell you.
No, that's not him
No, I was
asking.
asking
That's
you.
me as DM.
3.
Just holds up 3 fingers.
It's a lucky guess. Okay. What about now? And I'll switch it to 4. They're good. I'm just going to grab my plate of food and start following Kron.
Cool.
But with food.
He'll lead you all into like a smaller room that's a bit more private. It's been made into sort of like, there's like bed rolls laid down. And they do have like this kind of like very well crafted quality to them. They're not like your traditional bed rolls for adventurers that are kind of like, a couple of copper a piece, and you spend one day on them and then they're actually quite uncomfortable kind of thing. these look like really nicely crafted. And he takes a seat cross-legged on one of them and sort of awaits for you to sit down with him.
Vigor will sit down. Probably finishing off his chicken by this point.
So sit.
I'd like to...
Sorry.
Yeah, go for
I was going to say, I love the idea that we've all brought our plates from the table and they're just having a nice sit down with this person with our food on our laps and just having a little eat.
Totally.
Question. Are there any blankets or cushions?
Yes.
I would like a blanket and a cushion to just shroud myself in and just kind of sit down and just make myself nice and cozy because I need the comfort.
No worries. Awesome. As you do so, you feel Shanae hum, and the hum sort of like vibrates through your body as if to hold you.
Oh, Shanae's here for me.
I'm sorry, who's Shanae?
Oh, Shanae is my axe.
Oh, cool.
It's this like Aztec build axe, like very like Kotal Khan from Mortal Kombat, if you know the reference.
I kind of take it out and show it to her, like, look, aren't they a beauty?
Did you name it?
No,
Oh.
So
I think.
You recognize the axe,
Oh, really?
yeah, that's the axe of your leader.
shit.
You know that the Rulvuk, the king, wields this battle axe. For him to give it over is for him to give over almost control of the city.
Did you kill the king?
Not that I think of, unless the king was like being a foot soldier in disguise, and then it might have been like, accidental. But not.
The king asked us to help. That's why we're here.
It's a shame. It's always been a dream of mine to eat a king.
You may be able to make that happen before the day is out.
So Malice, I'm sorry, I've got a quick question. So you're saying that Shanae is here, but Shanae's always been with you because you've been carrying that axe for quite a while. So why are they here now?
I mean, they're just comforting me at the moment.
Oh, right, okay.
They're here for me, you know?
Well, you know that we're all here for you as well. You know, you can still talk to your axe by all means, but if you'd like to talk to someone who would talk back, Flower, you've got me, you've got our Reek, you've got Vega, and you've also got our Jamie as well.
You feel the axe like hold on to you tighter.
I think I want a social interaction that I can't mess up, and an axe is never going to. I can't go wrong with an axe.
You can never go wrong with me. Just so you know.
I've known you an hour.
I know that, but just in case you don't want to have a conversation with your axe, you can have a. Never mind. I'll just sit down with my lettuce.
I think creating a lot of snakes that chase you is probably going quite wrong with your axe.
Oh, were they chasing you?
Quite nice. I like them snakes.
They were just little love bites.
I see.
I mean, it was an effective tactic in the end.
Worked twice.
Ron so very, very patiently listens to all of this. And then as Malice finishes, work twice, Kron says, yes, you did well against Crydent. And he will be missed. But, well, now we have you. I do have to tell you, though, that you're not the only ones working for us. You know that already. There is another party. A very similar creature to you, and points at Vega. One of your just regular human, just a regular man, very sort of like specified, just a very regular man, and a elf and a ladrin. and a goblin. Very itchy goblin. They
Goblin.
yes. They have already proven themselves against one of ours, and well, I guess now it's a race to see who will win, or who will at least give Aminar what he wants first. And Aminar's will be done. He asks for you. Oh, yes.
Who's Aminar?
Our king.
Right. Yes, I knew that.
I'll
No,
just
you
motion to I'll just motion to Reek and say, I thought they just weren't sure what they were going to say next. I thought they were umming and ahhing, you know. Now we know.
Aminar believes that within... Yes, Evie? Or is it Malice?
It's Malice.
Okay, yes.
And I'd like to point out I'm still shrouded in a blanket with a cushion and Shanae just there.
Just sticking up.
Just sticking out. I thought we were just supposed to fight the one guy and then it was done. I didn't know there was more.
This is just the beginning for you all.
Oh no.
I do believe in you, though. And he smiles very gently. I think you'll be the ones to succeed. Though the future is multiple. Yes.
What are we doing?
Aminar believes that the yuan-ti still live within this city. Now, the yuan-ti were a civilization a lot stronger than they are now. They ruled all of these lands. And as he puts his hand up, this like wonderful illusion gets cast. And you can see sort of like sands billow out. And as they billow out, they become these yuan-ti figures, whipping and enslaving all the different races, dwarves, elves, kobolds, Aarakocra, hobgoblins, everyone. The yuan-ti took mercilessly. They believed in ritual sacrifice and that they would one day ascend to godhood. And then you see this like large ziggurat figure appear within the sands, and you can see like lines and lines of these sort of enslaved people walking up the ziggurat, and at the top is just a beheading, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. They were a people of great, great power. And that is when we decided to equal the balance. And from the sun, very similar to your vision, Vega, you see the Eternal Army rain down upon the yuan-ti. Their power was too strong, and they had been given too much insight from their dark gods. And, well, we felt it was time to balance the odds within everybody's favor. And you see the Eternal Army sort of slowly disassembling this large civilization. And it's almost like an atlas view of the whole of Toril. Slowly, just all these large yuan-ti cities being crumbled into small pockets dotted around. One of the most dangerous was Ilshal, and this figurehead holding Shanae of this large snake man is sort of like muscle bound and just bestial in their nature. Ilshalu was one of the most powerful of the yuan-ti, and we believed that he was dead, but it seems that we might be wrong. We can't figure out how to get to them. And then he shows like the city of Arkanhasa, and then within that are figures that look very similar to you, but their features are almost like blurred out. There are heroes that are not us that will find Ilshalu and put a stop to. That is why we're here, to find you. And then he wafts the vision away. Amina would also like to know how Il-Shalu has survived this long. We live for a very long time. Il-Shalu should not have.
I mean, that's very up yourselves. I'm sure other people have found ways to live a very long time as well. Are you heroes or are you bad? I've lost track.
Some call us heroes. Some think we are barbaric. We are merely here to regulate the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty evil to me. I'm in. Right, guys? Right? No?
I don't think that's what they're asking. So they don't necessarily want us to join them, but
I'll keep quiet.
it's okay. I think you should have input, but maybe don't just go joining an organization because there are lots of them, and there's a person leading that knows how to talk well.
I mean, it sounds like you've just sold it to me, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, I think that's very much the problem we're having. And maybe we should talk about this again later.
I feel like that's cracking advice for real life as well, G. That's good.
Giving in-world
take that.
Yeah, guys. Don't listen to charismatic leaders leading a group of people.
Congratulations. Oh, God. My mouth isn't working today. Congratulations, G. Vega's just become my overlord for the moment. Nice.
Charismatic overlord.
Great.
Sweet. Doth you have any questions?
So, balance between what and what. I do enjoy a good bit of balance, but we need to know what you're balancing.
Kron looks at you, and then again, like it's almost like that weird string play, and you can feel like this unquestionable feeling of something being pulled within you. It's not a horrible feeling, it's just you can see that he's interacting with you. You can feel that he's interacting with you. And he says, yes, your patron understands the balance. Very grateful for that. We mean the same. Decay and life are part of the balance. Like a phoenix, there is life and there is death. It is not personal. It is just what we do. That is my belief. Would you like to make an insight check?
Yes, I would, if that's all right. It was going to be so good, Niall, and then it turned into a 6.
Cool. Yeah, you believe him.
Sure. That sounds very wise.
Anybody else want to make an insight check? Sorry, just to put it out.
I wanted to
Go
try.
on, Liz. What are you saying?
Just another quick question. I'm sorry if this is rude or a bit too odd, but I couldn't help notice that you've got something wrapped around your eyes. And I was wondering, we've got a lot of people out there who've got multicoloured eyes, it seems. Are you covering yours up?
To look into my eyes is to look into time itself.
What's
It is
that like?
something that, well, I can
No, it's
show
all
you
right.
if you're all willing.
Oh, yeah.
It is something that can be painful, but revealing.
I mean, it can't be as bad as what just happened.
I'd like to see it if everyone else is up for it.
Will it do us damage?
It can be painful.
Eldergreen
I
will
think
begin
we've
just
come this far.
retreating into his shell, very slightly. But go on then. Sorry, G.
Personally, I think we've gone this far. I'd like to see it.
What did everybody roll for insight checks just before he takes his blindfold off?
20 non-natural.
20.
13.
10.
10. And Jamie? No. I think with 13 and the 10, he speaks honestly and from the heart. He speaks honestly from the heart, but that last comment about this is what he believes was actually quite poignant. he's kind of, that you get the feeling that he was commenting on more than just what his belief is. He was commenting on that this is his belief, but not everybody's. Like he's aware that not everyone within his organization. Sorry, so he said that they were all about balance, that there is no good, that there is no bad. It's not personal.
Right, okay.
They're just trying to hold everything.
Not all of them.
Yeah, this is his belief.
I mean, that seems fair. Some of them seem quite aggro.
Right. But he seems to be making a point about it. At that point, as they lower their blind cloth, you can see that their eyes are closed, and then they raise their head, and as their eyes open, it's not like everybody else's eyes. Everybody else has these like wonderful irises, and the whites of their eyes you've seen a lot of. When you look into Kron's eyes, it's endless. It's like the galaxy. It's like looking into space through a telescope. Can everybody make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh no. I'm terrible at these.
Well, you all get +5.
I got a nat 20
Hey!
for the first time on wisdom.
The first
And
time.
do you know what you get for it as well? You get advantage on a saving throw.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Sweet. So yeah, make sure that's written down in your notes so that you know to use that.
Definitely.
Amazing.
I'm just checking because
No
my thing is about wisdom saves. I can't find the thing. Where's the thing?
Where's that thing?
Where's the thing?
Where's my wife?
Oh,
Well.
the thing.
What's that from? Where's my wife?
Oh, I would have had to do it already. Never mind.
Oh, is it like
So
something you have to prep?
channel divinity. One of my channel divinities is that as an action, I give people advantage.
I'll say that you were prepared for this. Like, if you wanted to channel your divinity for that, you could.
Yeah. So everyone can have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
How do you do that? How does Reek sort of like?
I have a coin in my hand,
Ah,
and I'm just gonna flip it, and it lands heads up.
very nice.
Which means everyone gets advantage.
I like to think that was like almost the decision on whether or not to do this. Yeah, all right.
Is that advantage +6 as well? +5.
Advantage +5.
+5.
Mine's a 24.
27.
26.
7.
Mate.
Even with advantage.
What did you roll? A 1 and a 2?
Oh, no.
+5.
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Oh no.
But the 3 would be. Do you have a -1 saving throws?
It was a 2 and a 3. Oh, so a 6, an 8. Sorry.
That's not going to do.
That makes no difference.
Give me a second. So actually, Jamie, let's start with you.
Why?
You take 8 points of psychic damage.
Cool.
Have we rested and leveled up at this point?
Technically, no, but like rules-wise, yeah. Like,
I guess we're short
Up to you.
rested because we had like a sit down and eat and a chat.
how many hit points were you on before?
That would knock me out.
I think it's quite dramatic story-wise if you do go unconscious.
Cool.
I'll be there with the
Personally,
healing
I
hands
think-
in like 2
Yeah.
seconds. So.
I think it's quite interesting that you're all battered and bruised and then chose to take further damage. Jamie, you look into Kron's eyes and you see stars and nebula, and you are just almost drawn into them. And you go so far into the galaxies and space and time that you can feel like the stars breaking on your skin. And then you stop. And you are within this jungle and in this town. and there are children laughing with parents, and they come and they grab your hand and they walk with you and they get you to join in and play with them. And you touch their cheek and smile and laugh and play little games with sticks and dice that they've made. And then you look around and you can see Vega, Reek, Eldergreen, and Malice all playing, doing the same thing. And this large looming shadow overcomes you. And you look up, and in the sky, this bright sun, you see the shape of a black dragon. And it falls upon you. And as it falls, you are falling and falling and falling. And you land. And the land is dead. The trees are rotten. The smell is putrid. And you look around, and hordes of undead appear around you. And then you see yourself in front of yourself fighting by yourself. Just shadow blade in hand, cutting through this night. And then there's a shift as Malice is next to you, fighting alongside. But then there's a shift again, and you're by yourself once more. And then you're unconscious. Malice. What did you roll for your wizard? You rolled a nat 20, didn't you? Nah.
-1, but you know, the +5 helps.
You look into Kron's eyes and you can feel possibility. Do you allow that feeling to take hold of you?
I'm scared of it, but yes.
You look into Kron's eyes, and from his eyes, the universe expands, containing this whole room now. And you're floating within stars and galaxies. And then you start to move towards a planet. And then you're falling deep into the center of the earth. And you are stood within this luscious room. And you are holding Shanae. And you look up and you see yourself holding Shanae. And you look sort of down to Shanae. And you look up to yourself. And then your body transforms into a serpentine form. And you are holding Shanae, this large humanoid serpent creature. And then it flickers. And you are stood over this serpentine creature, embedding an axe into it. And then it flickers again, and you're holding the staff. You know it to be you, but it flickers again, and you are pulling the staff out of the hands of the serpentine creature, and you throw it to the side, and you stand outside of the temple, and you walk out of this room, and it's the top of this massive ziggurat, and you hold Shanae up, and these lizard snake people all drop to their knees worshipping you. But you are within your drow form. You are not a serpentine creature. Eldergreen. You look into Kron's eyes, and again, feel this moat of potential. What do you do?
I'd like to chase it.
You almost get up and run for it. And as you do, a staircase of stars appears before you, and you are running through the galaxy. And you are running through into the Feywild. And as you do so, a figure is ahead of you. You know that you have to run to them. You don't know why, but you know that you have to. And ahead is a woman with a porcelain face. And you reach out, and as you're about to grab her, you are suddenly grabbing hold of Malice and picking them up. And you are looking within this temple, and there's this beautiful waterfall. And you can see it in front of you. And it's gushing out with this life-giving water. and you look at it, and then it starts gushing with blood. And then it starts to gush with water again as it flickers out. And then it flickers in again and it gushes with blood. And you take your staff and you crack where the water's coming from. And almost like a reverse Moses and the rock, you stop water from coming, well, you stop blood from pouring out of this fountain. And the fountain dies and the blood turns back to water and disappears. Reek. Whilst looking at Kron, you feel potential. What do you do?
Yeah, I think used to like luck and potential, so just it doesn't feel unusual necessarily.
Nice. As you sort of allow this feeling to take hold of you, it's almost like the wind is beneath your wings as you fly up into the sky, and you can see all of Arkanhasa fully populated once more, and you land down, and Rulvuk stood there, and Rulvuk shakes your hand and puts a hand on your shoulder and smiles. As he does so, it shifts again, and you are holding the arm of this large serpentine lizard creature as you are being pushed down. And you can see all the battle scars that you've taken, all the damage that you have sustained, and it pushes you down onto your knees, and it raises its axe to finish you, and you manage to grab it and smite your way through it. And as you smite your way through it, you are once again reminded of this wonderful home that you have. And throughout the sort of radiant lights, you can see home from the sky once more. Vega, you look into Kron's eyes and you feel potential. What do you do?
I would like to play my fortuitous circumstance card. I have. And I think much like a sort of meditating, would just let it happen, I guess. I think he's kind of removing his consciousness from it a bit and trying to be mindful about it, I guess.
You close your eyes and you have the feeling, you know what's happening, and you allow that feeling to pass over you. And instead of slipping into your past, future, or present, you slip into Kron's. And you are stood as Kron, talking to Aminar. And you are telling Aminar that you see a city. Oh, within that city, there is a snake in the grass. And that snake will bite Aminar and kill him if he doesn't do something about it. Aminar turns to you and tells you that you need to look into this more and more, find answers. And you can see the fear in Aminar's eyes, the fear of death. It's real for him. And you know, as Kron, that you're pretty accurate with your prophecies. Aminar puts a hand on your shoulder and says, we managed to stop the last one at a great cost. I'll pay whatever cost this one takes to stop this. And you flitter back and you can see Aminar holding a different man's shoulder. And you can see this man with dark looking beaten, and he has these like blue and red eyes. So one blue, one red. And Amanar shoves a sword through him. And the man drops, smiling, laughing, and then dies. You flip back, and you are suddenly traveling, as Kron was traveling, trying to see all the different realities and possibilities. And you can see this group of adventurers. And the one that's really clear is this lion in. And you recognize yourself. But then it switches, and you see Zoxa. And you see both figures turn, locked in battle. And the future is not clear which one will win. And that is what you see. You all wake up from the vision without any pain, and you turn and see that Jamie's unconscious on the floor next to you.
I will instinctively just go across. Come on, love, and I'll cast Cure Wounds 3rd level. I've rolled it already. 14 HP to you.
Nice.
I would like to bring you into the blanket with me and just kind of hold you, be like, it's okay. Here in the blanket, everything is safe.
He's just gonna whisper to you, it's him again.
Oh.
And then just sort of like sit quietly.
Just kind of nod as if I know what's going on and just kind of go.
Well, with a lot to think about, that's why we'll take our break. Thank you very much. We'll be about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be back with part two of part two. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to part two of Into the Wastelands, the Eternal Army. We had just left our characters experiencing some visions. Kron will wrap his eyes up again to shield you from the danger of his stare as you all kind of come back to your senses. Elder Green notices that Jamie is upon the floor, gives some boom, cure wounds. Malice and Jamie sort of come together in an embrace, and Jamie whispers that it's him, presumably talking about Zasoon, the Shadow Dragon patron that we met earlier on in the season. Anyway, I don't know who that character was. He might come back. You never know. Anyway, oh, fair enough. And then Kron will look at you all, and as you're sort of like having these moments, maybe reflecting upon your visions, he'll say, I hope that was revealing to some degree. But just to let you know, you are welcome to stay here and rest for the evening and start your journey in the morning. I believe that your competition is already ahead, so it is up to you.
So was that what will happen, or was it what has happened? Because I've definitely not seen one of those things before.
It is both. Unfortunately, time is not constrained to our concepts and ideas.
So you're saying there's a chance that what we saw won't happen?
And a chance that it will.
Yeah, I think for now I'm just going to hold on to the idea of it not happening.
I will hold on to the opposite.
So did you have a waterfall in yours as well?
No waterfalls.
No waterfall of blood. Okay. I feel like the lucky one.
Just like a
I peed myself. Sorry.
It's like a
Go away, better narrator.
Keep the turtle away from waterfalls. Gotcha.
And some like snake dude.
Please tell me someone at least had something of positive use, shall we call it?
Well, there was the porcelain face lady who I think is the reason why I'm here and your friend isn't. I don't know if that's a good thing, but she was there with a little face that was made out of porcelain, and then there was a waterfall which was bloody, and then it wasn't bloody, and then it was. So I hit it with my staff, and then it stopped being bloody, and then it was just, water.
Out of character question. I know who the porcelain face lady is because I was in that campaign. But I can't remember how much Veracity told all of us about. I seem to remember a scene where Rebecca mentioned it, but I don't know who that was.
A lot of information on Jamie. But
was it on Jamie?
Take notes.
I don't think that Jamie would know that by reference, though.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Veracity had a couple of conversations with a few of us.
I think it's more me being like, hey, world building. Rather than plot.
I mean, I'll just read the chat of the stream.
Yeah, the chat will be going mental right now, being like, oh my god, do you not know who this is? Did you not watch Furry?
Read the goddamn wiki!
Yeah, read the wiki.
But I guess for characters here, it just sounds like some mega fever dream that Elder Green's just had.
To be fair, you've all had a mega fever dream.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really sure what has happened with you and Veracity, but I know that she was cursed by some very powerful magics. I suppose some sort of connection with this porcelain face lady you have mentioned.
Well, she seems pretty sort of on the cusp. I don't know if she had good intentions. I don't know if she had bad intentions, but her face was the last thing I saw before I ended up here and you were brushing leaves off me. So,
well, if it's any comfort, I don't believe Veracity really had a bad bone in her body. So I doubt there was any malicious intention from her herself. Is there any way any of us can check that she's okay? Because I can't deny it was becoming quite fond, and I'd rather not know that whatever happened between you two has hurt her in any way.
I can look for her, Kron says.
Vega has a sending stone. I can't remember who else had sending stones.
I have the other one.
You have the other one, damn it.
Ah, that would have been amazing.
I could ask Maglabaya,
Maggie.
if your friend is okay.
You ask the god that you don't worship.
No, I'm not going to ask Maglabaya, but I'm not telling them who I worship.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, I guess that is reasonable because you are currently the chosen of Maglabaya.
I rolled a natural 1.
So I rolled a 17.
Yeah.
It's not Maglabaya.
Rick's lying. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine, because at this point I was like, wait, Reek worships Maglabaya? How did I not pick up on that? But okay.
Well, either of you, if you would like to ask Maglabaya or yourself your own, yeah, that would be appreciated.
Kron is looking through Reek as well. Like, he's just looking at you like, oh yeah, Maglabaya? Oh yeah, okay. Go for
service. I'll just toss a coin
Yes.
and see which way up it lands.
You toss the coin into the air and it flicks. How do you catch it or do you let it land?
So I catch it and do that traditional catch, flip.
So,
Make sure you're not cheating.
yeah, as you catch, flip, hand up, you see, heads up.
I think she's probably okay. Or at least not worse off than she was here with all these crazy murdery people. And the snakes.
It sounds like she's probably gone to where I came from Mercangerel Bog. She's probably knee deep in a swamp.
From your place, I'm going to take it that that's a good thing.
Love a good swamp. You don't want to get stuck down one of the silt pits, but very good swamp. Nice and murky, lots of silt, lots of midges, It's good.
As long as she has something to set on fire, I'm sure she's very happy.
That's true.
It's a bit moist. Sorry to use the word, but she might have a bit of difficulty because of the humidity.
I don't mean to risk your entire swamp that you sound rather fond of, but if someone was going to find a way, it would be Veracity.
Eldergreen will look a little bit worried.
You should know, the magic I mentioned she was cursed with, that it stopped her from staying in one place for very long. It's as much as I ever really understood about it, but well, if you switched places with her, I would hope it's not going to affect you, but it's something you should at least be aware of, I think.
I'm just going to roll an intelligence check, which won't go well for Eldergreen, just to try and piece together, is it the porcelain-faced lady that cursed Veracity? I'm going to do it with disadvantage because Eldergreen would not have that much going on. That would be a 2. Well, I hope she's all right anyway. If she has a tendency to not be in one place at the same time, she might come back.
So,
Sorry, what are we doing?
I hope getting some rest and then racing after this next.
You don't look good.
No, I don't feel so good. I think I might just disappear under the covers and just sort of like disappears past Malice's head into the command.
Kron stands, gives a little bow, and says, I will leave you to your rest.
I'm going to bow back, 100%.
Yes, I do a bow back from the blanket.
I'll do a very static from the waist, like bow straight forwards.
They start to walk towards the door, and as he grabs the handle, he opens the door, steps outside, and turns back and says, there you go, a moment.
Walk over to join him.
He closes the door. Does anybody want to roll a perception check? Just on the other side of the door, which one of you wants to put a cup to the door?
I think Elder Green will be suspicious about why Vega keeps getting sort of little sidey things. Like, what's going on? So we'll probably just have a little. I don't have ears, so a little hole out.
Alice?
Question: is this sight-based and is it daylight?
It is daylight. It is not sight-based.
Okay, cool. That's a 21.
Way!
23.
I don't give a toss.
Oh, nice. I thought that was more of a, like, I rolled really low. I didn't realise that was like this. Don't give a shit. Jamie, you're just going to sleep. So what did you roll? What did you roll, Liz?
23.
Nice. So you both hear this conversation. Vega, as you step out, Kron closes the door and says, are we going to talk about what you saw?
What do you have to say about it?
I have nothing to say. You observed, as I do, through all the time.
Is that something you intended to show me?
No. And he smiles. And he says, you are curious. I've never met a mortal like you.
Tell me, you said that you believed that the Eternal Army should not pass moral judgment, purely restore balance when one side gets out of whack. So, do you think that's really why the Eternal Army is here now?
Kron continues to smile at you. The man you saw die needed to. The prophecy was unfortunate for him and for his kin. He was a good friend of the king's, saved his life many times. However, I saw that a manifestation of betrayal, illusions, and deception would give birth to the end of the Eternal Army and would open an endless hunger that would consume this world. Hashim was Cyric manifested, and he had to die, as did his son. That was restoring the balance, making sure this world would stay where it is. That the gates be locked, and that which is outside would not come in. And it was a tough choice for our king. It was his best friend. This, and he sort of like indicates to the castle where you are. This is a move from fear. We do not move with fear. We move with purpose. We do not move with anger or revenge or petty spite. But that is not my place to say. My place is to do as my king tells me, as our leader tells us. That is my duty. But no, I don't like this.
It seems to me that a duty that is all about loyalty to one man, regardless of how fearful his actions are, is no sort of duty at all.
We are very old and set in our ways,
Because you choose to be.
but without a leader, I feel we are wanderers, travelers, lost souls. That is not a life for any of us, to be lost among the wilderness, among this world. The gods gave us this purpose. We are born of gods, but we were not created by them. We were created by something very jealous and angry and evil. Our original destiny was to kill the gods that we were born from. Now we serve them all. It is not an easy thing to do, to serve neutrality, good, evil, chaos, and order all at the same time. Aminar does his best, and the next leader will do the same. Aminar has not been the first leader, nor will he be the last. But he is trying to cling on too long.
Then maybe it's time somebody helped him let go.
Maybe.
I believe there are better leaders amongst you.
And who would you suggest?
I don't feel it's my place to say.
He looks at you with a cocked head. And if you allow him to, he puts his hand on your chest. And he listens. And he says, "No, I trust you." And he continues to listen.
I think if you shared some of your concerns with Hitara, you would find a sympathetic ear.
Thank you. I hope things with Zoxa go well.
So do I.
I'm very good at seeing the future in its many forms. But I have learned that we get to choose how it ends.
Thank you. And Viggo will turn and go back inside.
Kron will walk away. How do you guys pretend that you weren't listening to all of that?
I imagine that we were just kind of pressed against the door for the entire thing, and as soon as it opened, just a little.
I will very quickly reach onto my back and just pull out a very small, very tiny tree frog that lives in one of the pools on my back. So this is Kenneth. Kenneth the tree frog. Malice, I don't think you've met. So I'll try and, no, it's very friendly. Just don't touch him because he doesn't like it. But if you would allow him to just jump onto your shoulder.
Of course.
So this little tiny green frog just kind of hops, like the legs kind of stretch out and the body kind of stretches too, and it kind of like elastic pings onto your shoulder. and in hope that Vega doesn't realise that we've been listening. So that's a bit
Make
of a
a
deception.
performance check.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, deception I think is fair. Yeah, go for it.
I feel like that should be with advantage with all of that.
Okay, then. Yeah, go for it.
Well,
We do one
21
as well.
and 8. So 21 we'll go with.
All right, and Vega.
My insight
do-
was 16.
Vega. Some really interesting conversation about a frog going on.
Vega,
Kenneth.
come and look at Kenneth. Kenneth and Malice are getting on like a house on fire.
Sweat pouring down this tall's head.
I feel like
yes,
I'm just
that's,
so distracted by the adorable little non-poisonous frog on my shoulders. I don't even need to be deceptive. I'm just really distracted now.
Nobody said it was non-poisonous.
Yes, look at that, Malice. I'm glad to see you've got a nice little friend there.
I've got Herbert the snail as well, Vega. If you want to, he doesn't move very often, but if you just look on the second one from the bottom, you'll see Herbert.
Oh yes. Well, I can
Little
see a
crappy
shell.
snail, yeah, like in one of the pools, just going along like the bottom, like feeding off the bottom of the pool.
You have a veritable Eden of wilderness around you.
I'm a walking menagerie. Come on then, Kenneth. Back to me. That's it. There we are. Thank you. Right.
Sweet.
Maybe tomorrow, Malice. Maybe. Once it's
Promise?
accumulated.
So, you all take a long rest. Oh, yes, Ree?
I'm going to cast alarm. 2 alarms. One alarm, the first alarm that you'd come to on the other side of the door, which is silent, so only I hear it. The second alarm, so like if you've gone past the first one, you wouldn't hear it. The second alarm is the audible one. So just going to like wrap some wire. It's not the most well hidden thing ever, but like it's there.
All right.
And then I'm going to sit and stare at the door.
do you have to sleep or like?
Oh no, I have to sleep.
All right, cool. Is there anything you'd like to do before your long rest? Any of you?
I feel like I've already made it canon that she's in it, so she's gone.
That's fine. It's just a last thing. It doesn't have to happen. Like the next morning can arrive.
I would like to just polish Shanae and be like, we're going to have good times together, you and I.
Shanae like almost vibrates with like power.
I think Vega would tell everybody about his vision, actually.
Okay.
And yeah, explain what he saw. We'll try to think if there's any extra sort of things he would share.
Malice, make a history check at advantage.
Oh, an advantage. Excellent. I needed that advantage. It's still not great, but it is now a 13. No, 14 rather. 14.
With a 14, you remember that Hitara told you that there was a decision that she didn't like that her father did, regardless of what she thought. And it's kind of like maybe piecing together. Yeah, maybe the killing of this Hashim guy was not something that, and his son was not something that Hitara. I think Hitara told you that she had a friend that was her age.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Ooh, drama.
Family drama. Killing my best friend.
I've got that spicy goss. Wait, now I'm doing the hands.
You are,
Don't get sucked in.
it's too late. But yeah, so yeah, that's what you get with your history check. You remember that. A little bit of information.
Cool.
So Vega, what about your vision worries you the most? What do you think was real and what wasn't?
Well, I'm quite positive that when I saw the king murder one of the yuan-ti people I'm pretty sure that was something that happened, and the conversation between Kron and the king. But I have never in my life...
The king didn't murder a yuan-ti person. He murdered another member of the Eternal Army.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood.
No worries. Yeah, he had the same eyes. They were just different colors.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah. Where was I going next? Sorry, my brain's just gone blank.
No, sorry, that's me interjecting. You said after he murdered the person, and you listened to him and Kron have a conversation.
Yeah.
Presumably about the prophecy of the snake in the grass, and that he would die from it.
Yeah. I heard about the prophecy of this so-called snake in the grass, and I'm starting to wonder if the king indeed interpreted the prophecy correctly. I don't know how Kron's power works, but something about the yuan-ti connection to all of this, and the prophecy being about a snake, and now the king seems scared and we're going after a yuan-ti person of some sort. I don't know. I don't understand fully what it all is.
Well, from what I know about prophecy, I, Liz, don't know how much Elder Green knows about prophecy, but from what I know about prophecy, you know it's happening once it's happening. But once you know it's happening, that then allows you to change which way it goes. And that, I believe, is called fate. That was my most deep thing I'm going to say today.
In my experience, the more you try and make the prophecy not happen, the more it happens.
Yeah, you've seen many a master fall to that.
I have so many.
How much detail does Vega go into for the people, the Eternal Army person fighting the king?
He wasn't fighting. He was just murdered.
Killing.
Yeah, you saw that he was beaten, and then he was
How much
executed.
detail did Vega get / could?
He saw him. Yeah, he saw him. He could describe him.
Yeah, I would, in as much detail as Niall does.
So he covers a peer, and Jamie sort of like sits back up. How similar does that person look to a certain person that we met in the desert on the way here?
And make a history check.
Who's that again?
He was the nomad in the desert, wandering, traveling.
The merchant guy.
The merchant.
That's only a 7.
His name was Hack or something. They both had dark hair, dark skin.
Screw you now.
Yeah, I guess they look the same. Like the eyes don't match. The eyes definitely don't match.
Well, in that case, I will pass the rolling responsibility back to Vega. As Jamie's like, did that guy look similar to the gentleman we met in the desert?
So do I get to roll history now?
Yeah, of course you do.
Nice.
With a -1, 11.
Perhaps with advantage for the prompt.
Yeah, with advantage. Go on.
Hang on a minute, hang on.
I mean, I'm probably meta-ing slightly, but...
So I'm just trying to remember what stuff I can do with key points. And
Oh yeah, you can bump up. Is it saving throws you can bump up?
I think it's something like that. I can't remember.
I think it's attack rolls.
Yeah, makes you want me to.
Still cool as hell.
Monk baby. Monk baby.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just envisioning a baby that can punch.
So that's a 13.
That's why I went.
13. You're like Hagnar Ali, I think he said his name was. Yeah, they like had similar traits, but again, the eyes didn't match. Dark hair, dark skin. It was hard to tell because Hagnar had like a beard, whereas this man didn't.
How long
And
ago?
his face was also quite beaten.
Do I have any sense of how long ago it might have been the vision I saw?
No, it was in a place that you didn't recognize. The king. Oh, actually, in fairness, the king looked younger. Like the king and the man he murdered looked about the same age.
Right.
And the king has like shocking white hair, and a white beard, and like it was probably like a little bit more grey.
Okay.
And this.
And I can assume that Godborns don't age quickly, so
Exactly.
potentially a very okay. So yeah, I think. What do I think?
Maybe in the morning we throw that name around to people we trust. See if it picks anything up.
But that woman's telepathic. You can probably just shout really loud in your mind and she'll hear you.
It's true. I mean, that trader, he did look similar, and it's been a very long time, I believe, since he was betrayed by.
Yeah, coincidences like that don't happen in real life.
Sometimes clutching at straws can reveal very intriguing things.
Maybe it wasn't a coincidence. We'd been asked to come here. If someone who's been betrayed by the Eternal Army is looking for revenge, then it's entirely possible to see them around.
But wasn't he heading towards Faerun?
As far as we could tell.
No. Food for thought, eh? How about we?
He was carrying weapons, and he was traveling by himself with a camel through the desert. Anyway, bedtime.
Before we do, I will go and sit down next to Tariq.
Staring at a door.
No, it's very important to watch.
Do you want to do this in halves? I mean, I don't mind taking what would be dubbed as the second watch, if you want to get some shut-eye.
I mean, if you want to. Usually I just stare at it until I fall asleep.
But when you fall asleep, you can let me know that you're asleep, and then I'll start watching the door.
But I'll be asleep.
That's a very good point. This conversation will go around for a while.
Sweet.
But then
I like if it didn't. If it was just like, good point. Yeah, let's give up. Okay.
And then I'll just lie on my front so that the pools on my back don't spill out and just retreat into my shell. Just knock when you fall asleep, our Reek. Just knock.
Okay.
Can I deposit a blanket around Reek's shoulders?
Yeah, of course.
Just a little, in case you get cold.
Thank you. The feathers
It's a
are
very
pretty,
nice blanket.
pretty like I can puff them up. I keep more air in. But blankets are always appreciated. Are you gonna sharpen your axe all night?
Well,
Euphemism. Sorry, it's the way you said it.
hey.
I have one of those voices. I'm sorry.
Carry on.
I thought I wasn't planning on it. I mean, it's already very shiny. Maybe but it likes it when I Maybe not. Are you gonna watch that door all night?
I usually
No,
do.
No, we're going to swap once Reek falls asleep. They'll let me know, and then I'll start watching the door.
It's a problem because when I'm asleep, I won't know that I'm asleep.
Okay, well, try and when you're falling asleep, at least to kind of like fall sideways so that you don't hurt your back. Otherwise, because if we're fighting tomorrow and then you've got like cramps in your back, that won't be good for anyone.
Right, that is good advice. I mean, I've never had a bad back before, but I suppose it's always possible.
How old are you?
18?
I'm 100 times your age. Oh, bless. You will know back pain if you don't start falling asleep lying down.
Understood.
It begins at 30. I'm just letting you all know.
Begins at 16 for me.
Oh no.
No.
Sorry, Em.
But yeah, if I watch it, then nothing can come through it. But if it comes through it, I'll know it's here. Although I put up alarms, so I'd also know it's here. I will doubly know that everything is here. I'll be really aware.
You look aware. Okay, well, snuggle down, you young little bird. And have sweet dreams when you get there, hopefully not of alarms. I'm sorry, you are a child to me now.
Awesome. So, you all go to sleep. Wunderbar. You waken in the morning, staring at a door for some of you. The others staring at each other maybe, or just at a wall, or I don't know, wherever you're looking.
I'm very invested in whether I actually managed to wake up Elder Green. Hang on, I'm just going to roll a con save.
Oh.
You know what? We never use con. Use a con save.
I'm going to roll at disadvantage because I was falling asleep.
Okay.
It's still a 15.
Nice. Yeah, that passes, definitely. You managed to switch over in the night.
Like knock on the shell.
Good morning. I'll come out Michelle, and as you fall asleep, sit bolt upright and look at the door and not blink.
That's what you wake up to, guys, is a tall staring at a door.
Speaking of con saves.
Yes, thank you. Make your con save.
Just remember that wasn't... Okay, I got a nat 20 on that for a 26.
May. I don't know if I made rules for having a nat 20 on that.
Nay is now yours forever, permanently.
Don't forget the card.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Have a card first.
Do I get a puppy for getting the 20?
I don't have puppies to hand out, unfortunately. I'll try that for next session. Add a 1d4 after making a skill or attack roll.
Cool.
Just after the question about age, I've just looked how long turtles live. An average of 50 years.
Yeah, it's quite short, isn't
Coming
it?
of age at 15, living an average of 50. So I think
I put that down to their traveling nature from D&D's perspective. Like, Wizards of the Coast say that they travel a lot, so I reckon a turtle could live a lot longer. They just travel a lot, so I reckon, they die quicker because I imagine they walk off a cliff or something.
I'm going to go with 45.
Nice. Old. Coming to the end of your years. A cliff is waiting for you somewhere. A deep bog.
A deep pool somewhere.
An unsuspecting, I don't know. What are those massive man fly traps?
Oh, Venus
waiting to
flytrap.
eat you. Venus flytrap, man flytrap. Wow.
Well, they heard it here first, folks. That's how Elder Green dies.
In the future,
Yeah.
Kron's just sat in his bedroom, seeing it all like, Excellent. So you awaken the next day. Does anybody go to try the door?
You don't open the door, you just watch it. Also, my alarms are still up. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Does anybody go try the door to leave?
No.
I am the
As you all
least
stay in
wise
the room
here
and
and
Kevin
happy to
shut.
try it.
Nice. Yeah, as you open the door, what's the alarm?
It's like a massive ringing bell for 20 seconds, really loud.
Oh, you can't open the. Oh no!
No, I can close it.
No, close it now. Close it. Close it.
Oh, okay.
Close
That's
it.
not going to help.
What
The
the
ring.
hell?
Press the snooze button. Just press the snooze button.
Just wait and it'll turn off.
But we don't know that. It might not turn off. It might keep on going forever.
No, it's
I think
Alice,
Vega
what have you
is
done?
meditating very
What have I
carefully.
done?
Someone press the snooze button.
Oh, and I would like to now hit the door as hard as I can with my axe.
Roll an attack roll.
Can I try and duck out the way?
Yeah.
I'll do a debt save.
Roll a dex saving throw for me.
I just need to go on to the right
18.
thing.
Thank God.
Oh my god, okay. So that is, I got a 30 to hit the door.
Yeah,
I
you hit the door. Could you roll damage, I guess?
Yeah, of course.
Watch out for Kenneth, Malice.
Where's Kenneth?
On your shoulder still.
Yeah.
4 plus 10. That's 17 damage on that door.
The door like bisects open, like splintering in half, and you just hear another. As that first one stops, you just hear another one in your head go.
Oh no, there's two.
No,
but it's just in
first
Reek's head.
second one's only audible to me. I'm just, do you
Yeah.
know what? I was going to try and tell them that it was my magic. I'm not taking responsibility for this. I didn't do this.
Just woken the entire castle up at this point. But
You can hear off in the corner, just like an echoing through the corridor. Somebody hit the snooze button.
I
Awesome.
just hit the snooze button.
You literally did. To be fair, it has stopped now. Would you like to head out? Awesome.
I will pass
Do you have-
Kenneth across to Malice before we head out, though.
Nice. Where are you heading? Where is the first point of call for you? You know what you must do now. Is try and find this hidden city. Or civilization, should I say, within this city.
Do we?
within the city, did you say? Is this sort of just a good old hide and seek? We just have to look, or do we have any clues?
This is an investigation. I'm not very good at being a detective. I tried that once. It didn't really work out.
I think, if I remember correctly, Vega definitely noticed this. But I'm trying to... All right, everybody just roll a history check. Vega at advantage, because I'm pretty sure you noticed it. Elder Green, there's no point in rolling because you've not seen any of this city.
It was a
Reek,
3 anyway.
You can roll a history because you've...
I just rolled 2 nat 20s.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
I mean... take it easy.
Because I rolled a nat 20 and I was like, I don't need to roll again.
Cool.
But I will.
And there you go. Well, get advantage on a skill or attack roll.
Cool.
That is a pretty good one to have as well. Okay.
I only got a 9, but did I get anything for the nat 20 before, or is it just kind of fine?
What did you roll that nat 20 for before?
On Shineno. On the curse, maybe? Or maybe just skin condition? I don't know.
All right, here's the real question. I'll let with a nat 20, I'll let you decide now. As you feel Shanae around you, today you wake up and you know that there's a part of Shanae that's... You wake up with the knowledge that there's a part of Shanae that is literally burrowing its way into you. Now, your body's natural resistances have been staving this off, but you feel like whatever this connection you have with Shanae is pretty like half and half. that it could go either way. You could either just have the weapon, or you could let this thing become part of you. You can now choose to fail your saving throws if you want a day.
Do I have any sense of the consequences of said actions?
Well, every time you've failed, something about your physical appearance has changed. Your teeth have gotten sharper. Your skin has gotten a little more scaly in places.
What I'm getting at is Shanae trying to take over my consciousness.
You know that it's not a mind thing, it's your body.
I kind of like my body. Body positivity.
Then you can keep fighting it.
Me and Shanae are going to have words at some point. Probably mostly mine, but they're going to be had.
That's cool.
Get a voice for Shanae.
I think it'll come up.
I'm looking forward to it because I've heard some of your voices now, and
That grung that you were in Sean's tester game. Be that.
Gosh. See, that was the voice I was thinking for Swampalith.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The queen.
I was thinking of the crazy French frog in.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. I do love my
Sorry.
grunts, don't I? I love my grunts. Okay. So, anyway, I feel like I've been seen. What did we roll for I asked you to roll history checks tonight. So what did we roll? Oh, 2 natural 20s for Vega. Reek?
Bad.
Bad.
Very
Not
bad.
good.
Not
Not
a one,
good.
but bad.
Not 2. It's a 3.
I mean, it was a 3, it becomes a 2. So
Nice.
Beautiful. Jamie?
It's a 7. I don't think I've actually
It's a
rolled.
7.
I don't think I've rolled above a 10 this entire game.
oh no.
At least it's not combat, hey? You know. And Mars?
9.
All right, Vega, you fucking remember. Within the first entrance of Arkanasa, you saw that there was these gardens with these statues of different hobgoblin kings and queens. You noticed Rulvuk, and you noticed like what pertained to be possibly like one of his great ancestors that founded this city. But very deep within that sort of garden, this sort of public area, you noticed further statues further inside, and that seemed peculiar that they were hidden.
Cool. I mentioned this to everybody, and just I think we should go and investigate the statues, and hopefully we'll find some sort of lead there as well.
Be such an Uno reverse to just have this be the wrong place, wouldn't it? Cool. So you all head?
I mean, it's as good a lead as any.
It's the one. It is the one lead.
Yeah.
It is the only lead.
So it's a good job that I remember these things. I'll plan them. Who knows? Ooh, so you head off into the gardens, and it's the next day. From the first time you entered, there was a lot of Eternal Army members like just trashing houses. The activity on the streets is bare minimal now. There aren't really that many Eternal Army people around. You do pass like 1 or 2, and they're just chatting with each other, helmets off, swords sheathed, shields on their backs, eating fruit, just talking, drinking from like tankards, and just enjoying the weather here, which is lush. So it's a lot more peaceful than it once was. And you head to these gardens that you first walk through. And there's these great imposing figures. Can you make perception checks?
Is it sight-based and is it daylight?
It is sight-based and it is daylight.
Disadvantage.
So it's a disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay.
10.
So 10.
19. I rolled a 17 and a 16. What can I say?
Amazing.
Squinting through the sun.
Right, perception. Where am I? 6.
And Mikey?
Dirty 20.
Day 20. Nice.
Oh wait, what was my thing? It was get advantage on a skill roll, wasn't it?
If you want, I mean,
Yeah, fuck
it's up
it.
to you. Okay. So burn
Because that
card.
makes it an 18.
Nice. Sweet. So you burn that card. Now, as you're sort of like looking, Malice, the sun is awful. You remember why you love the Underdark so much. It burns my corneas. So you put your hands up, and it's like being in the Underdark. You're like your hands are now like the ceilings of the caves that you usually make yourself in, and you like find your way walking through the trees that there's a lot more shade, and I think naturally you would aim for those because you'd be like, it's hot and I don't like it and the sun is bright and my eyes hurt. And at the same time, Jamie, probably because you're concerned about Malice, you're probably watching Malice and following and tailing, so you find yourself in the sort of
She'll
shade.
walk up next to Malice and she flops her umbrella that she uses to protect herself with.
Very nice.
Just sort of invites Malice underneath into the joint protection, as though it is not as horrible for Jamie. The sunlight is still not particularly nice.
Thank you, Jamie. If only I had some sort of thing to put over my eyes that dimmed the lights. Like a glass of some sort.
I do have an iron pot, Malice, if that would be of any use to you.
It would, but then I can only see 10 feet in front of me.
Put some holes in it.
Then I'll probably be able to see less than 10 feet.
Well, I shall pass over my iron pot anyway, and then you can choose to do with it what you will.
Thanks. I have a
Amazing.
helmet.
Vega, as you're sort of like looking around in the sun, you head towards the figures that you saw once before where Malice and Jamie are stood, and all three of you at the same time sort of like look around into the deeper forest, and you start to see these overgrown statues that are sort of hidden from view. And as you're looking over there, you see three figures all walking around. 4 figures. 3 normal sized, 1 quite small.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like our, I guess, counterparts are over there.
Oh, good. That was going to be my next suggestion, that we just follow them.
Wait, is that a certain itchy goblin?
You can see the smaller figure scratching its butt very vigorously.
Can I?
I expected us to run into them at some point.
That guy looks rather average, doesn't he? Just like,
Itchy! Hi!
well, I guess we're doing this.
Nice. Do you all
Yes.
approach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wonderful. As you approach, you see Zoxa, the other lion, holding what seems to be some sort of device. She just pockets it and then folds her arms and looks at you as you approach. Theros sort of like twirls wonderfully, and these like sort of like petals and leaves that have fallen on the ground sort of spin and dance around him. And he's like, "Oh, hello, it's you all. Oh, wait, there's what? Where's my sister?
She decided this wasn't her deal anymore.
Bigger and better things.
The very average-looking human just looks at you all and he's like, and Aiko cheeks the itchy. Looks at you. He's like, "Oh, you all right? What you been here?"
Well, this is the gig that you set me up with, if you remember.
Yeah. Have you got my cut for that?
No,
You
well, you
rescinded
don't remember rightly.
You rescinded your
rescind-
90% cut, I believe.
No. Because what I was doing was I was working with these guys to get money so that we could share it as a pool. I haven't earned my money yet, but if you give me a bit of yours, then I'll give you a bit of mine when I get it.
Can I insight check?
Yeah, of course you can.
Obviously, I know this is bullshit, but... Oh yeah, that's a 9.
Oh,
Can
let
I
me just...
insight, please? Just in the
Yeah.
background.
I'm just getting his stats up.
I'd like to point out that 9 is pretty high on a wisdom one for me.
Oh wow. All right, yeah. No, you're like, is he lying? Like, there doesn't like. You remember that he left and that he didn't say that he was taking a cut. Like that doesn't seem to be right.
Okay.
What did you roll, Mike?
Oh, a 15.
Yeah, you fucking know he's lying. Like, he's straight up lying. Whereas you're a bit like, no, I just don't remember that. He rolled a 3.
I would like to just gently put my hand on his tiny shoulder and just say, that wasn't very nice. And punch him in the face a little bit. In a friendly
All right,
way.
roll an attack roll.
Okay. Regular attack roll. It's still that, so that is a 20, a dirty one.
Can you roll? What's your strength modifier?
My strength mod is +4.
You crunch him in the face, and blood just splurts out of his nose as he topples over backwards, like crying in agony. He's like, my nose! And the other 3 look down at him, and they look up at you, and then they look at each other, and then they look at the goblin, and then Zoxa just sort of like goes, and then they all just sort of turn and go, so, the regular human looks at you all and says, what are you doing here? I thought you were back at the Predator Slayers fighting the orcs.
That was some time ago now. I imagine we're doing the same thing you are.
He looks at Zoxa, and Zoxa sort of looks at you, Vega, with like a head tilted. You are trying to find the yuan-ti.
That's the task we've been given, yes.
And if you find it before us, does that mean our deal with this eternal army is null and void?
I imagine it would.
Perhaps we can work together rather than race one another and find a easier solution.
I have no quarrel with you. Can I
Nor
ask?
I with you.
Can I ask what your deal was or is?
No. It is not my business to share. It is our employers. I'm sure you understand.
I do.
She nods. We have been given, and she pulls out this device, and it's like a compass, and it has like a little scale on it. And then around it is this glowing light that circles. And as she lifts it up to sort of like activate it, you notice the light stops circling and starts just pinpointing one direction. And if she moves, it follows like a compass would. We have a heading. Would you like to join us?
I look around it, just sort of make quick eye contact with the rest of the party. And unless everybody is in a kind of like, I don't know, don't do that, then I will
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
More heads are always better than fewer.
Sorry?
Unless you're fighting a hydra.
What's a hydra?
It is this large creature. Every time you chop off a head, 2 more appear, and it gets even more difficult to kill.
Oh, I worked for one of those ones.
Fuck.
Great HR.
From the ground. Yeah, he was very good dental care.
Do I need to send my frogs in to heal this one up that Malice has punched in the face?
I would greatly appreciate it. My nose is very broken.
And I understand that, but I would like to ask my friends, do we want
He's
to heal
got
this
massive
one?
like bruising all over his eyes from where Malice has punched him. Blood is just still pouring out his face.
It's like, oh, he'll be fine.
I was going to say, he does need to learn not to try scam people. I mean,
It wasn't a
there has to be-
scam. It was an understanding, you know what I mean? Like, I
I
forgot. Like, it's what?
Yeah.
We're friends, innit?
I think in Eldergreen, in the interests of companionship, I think that would be a very good idea, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh,
Turn
this
back
thing
to
where you-
Zanza.
Be kind again. Is this
That-
we rolling back to this whole?
That's the one, Jamie, yes. And
So I just can we just take a second? So if someone is scamming someone else, and so they take action to stop that happening, they are punished. But then we fix them and almost apologize for punishing them for scamming us. That's
I'm not
correct.
suggesting that we apologize to this creature right now,
I
but
have a name.
sorry, I didn't catch your name.
It's all right. It's Arkacheek. And he holds out a hand for you.
Alkacheek.
Have I been
And
And
pronouncing it wrong
as you
this
shake the
entire
hand,
time?
he says, the itchy.
The itchy.
Sorry, have I been pronouncing your name wrong the entire time we've known each other?
I just never corrected you. I'll be honest. You're a bit terrifying.
So, my itchy friend, the afflicted one, so it seems, I'm going to give you a level 1 cure wounds, which will apparate as a couple of frogs that hop their way across to you, and you'll feel a little bit better. Very lucky, so it seems that's 11 points of health back to you.
Even though you explain the process, he still screams in fear
But
as
pipe
these
down,
frogs
pipe down, Treacle. You know, you just have
chase him.
health comes to you, but you have to accept it. There.
You know, it's followed by the words like, they're all over me, they're crawling over my skin. I
It's
can
part
feel
of
them
the
in my
process.
insides.
No, you just have to let them in. Go
I
on.
may need one of you to explain this whole social process later, because I'm not entirely sure I understood this
I
one.
may also need some cliff notes.
Not wanting to be rude, but shan't we get on with all this? It's very nice that we're all having a team bonding experience, but time is money, and I don't have that much time to spend on the goblin. I've got a name!
And an affliction. Oh, that's not my. And an affliction.
Yes, well, I guess lead the way. Looking at Vega, like almost Jamie's quite content to let Vega take the lead and choice in this matter, as you seem to know them. So
Yeah. Vega will sort of lead us to join their party.
Yeah,
and we'll,
Zarxa just turns around and starts walking.
okay. Well, as we go then, I I have spent a lot of my life in battle, but it has always been a contest. I don't fight out of anger. And I think that we have been maneuvered down here by certain forces, as have they. And they have been given something that shows them where to go. We have not. The whole point is that we are being pushed into fighting. I prefer to choose when I fight.
When your dad prefers your sister to you, and then like he gives her presents, he doesn't give you presents, and then you feel bad, and then you leave home. It's fine.
That doesn't sound very fine.
Are you sure you're okay?
I was just giving an example of what that might be like.
That sounds
the
very
real world.
sad.
Pipe down, Itchy.
Boy, that's... I never knew what, Father.
I'll hunt you again.
As that threat is given, Zoxa like gets to a statue, and the dot goes from being very steady to running in a circle, and she starts to clear it. And as she pulls away vines and vines, you see this large statue. Jamie, Vega, and Malice, you recognize the being from the painting within the magical tower in the deserts. This seems to be a statue of Ishalu holding Shunene.
Oh look, it's your axe.
Oh.
It's not as shiny as yours though.
No, I spent a lot of time making sure Shanae is looking their best. But yes,
Your axe seems to be popping up everywhere. I didn't realise it was as influential as it seems to be becoming.
There is a hum as it almost vibrates next to you in its sheath.
Can I use it as a dowsing
audible
rod?
to the rest of us hum, or?
No, just Malice.
If I take it out and move in different locations, does the humming change?
Not really.
Malice, what are you doing?
I was about to ask.
Oh, just chilling.
Insight check, please. On
Yeah, insight check.
just chilling.
No.
Seems legit. There is just chilling happening.
Natural 1, Niall. 5.
Hey, just
Love natural
me.
ones. They're my favourite.
23.
I think it's just chilling.
Seems like it's just chilling.
Vega, you know that Malice has like made a connection with the axe. I mean, you've made the connection with the axe. Malice is clearly trying to figure it out, but feels shy about it for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that sometimes when you're trying to make a connection with a magical object and you're having difficulty, it helps to talk about it and tell everybody else what you're experiencing.
Now I'm going to sound... Do you believe an axe can hum?
I think a magical one can, yes.
It is doing that. I'm not sure if maybe it's very vain and like seeing itself in a statue, or if we're getting close to something. I'm not quite sure what Shanae is trying to tell me right now.
But you think they might be a narcissist?
Possible.
Okay.
They
Has the
are
axe
very,
been
very grand.
Has the axe been exhibiting personality traits this whole time?
I mean, I've been getting a sense of warmth and personality from the axe. I don't know if it's just me projecting. I do get attached.
Sounds like that is common,
very
yes.
quickly.
Is it Kenneth that's given you these warm feelings? I know Kenneth is a recent addition. Have these warm feelings been happening as of last night, or was it earlier?
Oh, no, they've been happening a little while now.
Not Kenneth, okay.
Soxa, that device, what was it meant to lead you to?
The source.
The source of what?
She points to the scale. This is where the trail ends. There must be some sort of puzzle.
I'll just
Some
poke
way to
all of
get-
it.
She gently pokes the statue.
Not like once, like all of it, in case it's a secret button. Like, I really want to see you poke the whole thing.
Okay, roll an investigation check, all of
Yeah,
you, if you
consider-
want.
I'm not
Look at
poking
the
it. I'm
statue.
going to watch everyone else poke it.
Does it look like the actual axe is almost like mountable? I.e., if you like flip the axe.
No, the axe is being held by Inshallah.
Right. Okay.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Yes, Malith.
Is the figure and the axe in the same position as in my vision
Yes. And in the painting.
and in the painting? And now me, Evie, is trying to remember what came what came next in said vision. At any rate, that was a 19 on investigation.
Okay.
You can take a card. No.
Oh, yay. Lovely jubbly.
Sorry, I just saw the Italian hands and I couldn't help myself.
They're spreading.
Yeah.
So, who else rolled investigation? Just Jamie and Malice.
Oh, that one.
Hey,
Oh, another
Let's
one.
get so many
collecting cards, baby.
We're gonna die.
Oh, these are some good ones as well. Oh, these are getting saved up.
I'm so pleased for you now.
Oh no.
Because these are a bad time. When I don't want you to, when I don't want you to progress. Right now, it's imperative that you progress. Otherwise, we go nowhere. Malice, you help look for a button, but you're like, nah, this button trail, it's the wrong trail. It's gone down the wrong path. I've seen this imagery a lot. And that's when it occurs to you, maybe the button isn't on the statue. Maybe the activation switch was in you all along. As you hold up the axe in the same manner as Urshalu, and the statue itself bisects with a perfect half as it opens up, and there are stairs leading down into darkness.
Well, looks like we needed each other to find and get in, not just the one.
Speak for yourself. I just needed myself and the axe.
Mm.
Yeah. Zosa sort of looks at you, Vega, and is like, I did not push a button.
No, I think we were very intentionally, both groups of us, given things that the other would need to get in.
If it makes you feel any better, I had no idea you were going to be here. And she heads down the stairs. Theros swans in straight after her, that's giving you the chance to go in. He's like, ha!
I think that's definitely piqued Jamie's interest enough to incite that comment just from the side.
What, Zox's comment? I did not know you were going to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah?
if it makes you feel better. I forgot.
Is that a natural one?
Another natural one, 2 in a
Oh
row.
no.
I was literally just about to say you're just adding
no.
cards to Mel's pile. All these rolls.
I just want to know the secrets.
Well, that's secrets.
Secrets.
You
got
crab
nothing.
hands now.
Yeah. You're like watching Zoxon. You're like, oh, I hope that made Vega feel better. Puts me at ease. It definitely did. There's definitely no conspiracy.
Oh, Jamie does not pick up on such.
Skitty bap bap. The average human is very polite and allows people to go down before he does. He's like, no, after you.
If it was
don't-
average,
I
it
don't
would be
know.
like half of the people and then go in the middle. Walk
Well,
down.
he's wait. I was gonna wait. As soon as somebody was like, no, after you, he's gonna. All right then, and then go.
I think just before Eldergreen sees Malice head down, Eldergreen would just say, since we might be going into the unknown, I would feel a bit more happy if I were to take our Kenneth back so he could just sit in one of my pools so that he doesn't get crushed or, anything else bad.
You would never crush Kenneth.
I know you wouldn't, and I'm glad that you're turning a corner, which is nice, and not smashing down doors or punching goblins in the face, but I'd feel much more happy within myself if he was within one of my pools, and then you can take him back once we know it's safe.
You don't trust me.
I trust you absolutely, but I don't know what's going to be down that very dark hole. And I don't think I've got dark vision, and I'm a little bit worried.
I don't think I've got dark vision.
I don't think I
I'm
do.
not sure I might.
I don't think I do either.
I don't think if I can't see,
I give Kenneth back. I'm just like, don't make an enemy of me.
I'm certainly not trying not to, Flower. I can see you as well.
Backwards down the stairs.
I'd like to take a moment with my axe, if that's okay.
Yeah, what do you want to say?
I would like to stare at Shanae very intensely and try and reach out and just be like, hello, what's your game? And see if I can collect any vibes or anything.
You missed a golden opportunity to say I've got an axe to grind with you.
Nice.
I will use that later.
You feel your connection getting stronger with it. Like there's that feeling that you know that you wield it is just strong within you as you're like, what's going on here? There's still like I feel like you've got more of an insight into it from the nat 20, that you know that it's trying to become one with you, but you have a choice in that, but you know that it's like it's becoming a part of you in a way. How that takes place is kind of up to you.
I would like to just say to Shanae, I love you too. And I appreciate that you are trying to us to become one. However, I have learnt in my journey this past week, I don't know how long it's been since we met, that I don't necessarily want to change all of myself. So you can either accept me as I am, or we may have to go our separate ways.
Like a pushy boyfriend, it does not change its its mode. Cool. So you head down.
At the end, I just say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, my love. And
That's all right. Don't you worry.
Please don't leave me. Oh, God. All right. You head down. Doth thou lighteth any lights?
Yeah, have a lightsaber. I intend to use it. Yeah. I can't see without it, so it is essential.
Sorry, Reek. I believe me and Malice may have to stand a little bit further away from you.
It's not sunlight. It's
just more in
light.
general bright light. It isn't just the nicest.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's 15-foot bright light and 15-foot dim light. So Oh no, it is sunlight. Sorry.
Oh, yes, so we definitely.
I can cast light as a cantrip if that helps. So
Nice. So you'll head the dark visioned ones at the front, the non-dark visioned ones at the back with their light sources. And you head down into this cavern. And it is sort of like more of like weirdly chiseled out stairs. They weren't professionally done, if that makes sense. They're almost like you could mistake them to be natural in a way, if that makes sense. But you know that they're stairs, so you know that they're not. And once you get to the bottom, is this large, great opening, and it's this body of water that, as you like first step down into it, and Zoxa does so without any fear, without any sort of hesitation. It's about just above her ankle deep. And she just starts walking through it. And it seems to be this large body of water, probably about 150 foot wide. And in the middle is a large statue of a man. And he is holding his hands up. And in one hand is this object. And he's holding his hands up like that in fear. And then opposite him, across where the cavern meets itself, is this large statue again of Il Shalu holding the axe, looking directly at it. These statues are larger in proportion than you are. So you're not like equal height to them. They're like exaggerated figures almost. But they are in proportion. They're not like weird abstract. They are humanoid in proportion, just larger.
Just gonna fly around.
Yeah. And you fly around with your sword. That seems to be the main feature of this cavern. It's very dark, very gloomy, very echoey. You can hear the of people walking through. Even your wings are kind of echoed back to you. Theros' voice, well, this is horrible, echoes through your ears as well, like he was right next to you.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Malice, is the axe still coming at you?
Yeah, there's a gentle hum, and Zoxa turns and she says, "We seem to have hit another dead end," as the light rings around again.
I try and strike a pose just casually, but in case it doesn't work, I also try and make it look like a stretch.
Nothing happens.
I'd like to take a closer look at the statue that's not got the axe.
Make an investigation check.
Can I join and almost do like the parallel to Vega?
On the other, yeah.
Yeah, to give Vega a hand.
Yeah. Make an investigation check, both of you at advantage. Zoxa will help you, Vega, and Itchy Cheeks. Oh, Icor Cheeks, the Itchy, will help you. That.
Can I just take the item out of the thing's hand?
You attempt to, as Vega and Zoxa are looking, and it's part of it. It's stone. Yeah.
I just rolled 2 1s.
Sweet.
Throw out those dice.
that's at least 6 today.
I'm just
isn't it?
using
With all of us.
e-dice because I left all mine at work.
Wow.
Look, someone has to be the antithesis to Rebecca's all hundreds of nat 20s.
Yeah,
That's true.
Has to manifest somehow.
That's 3 in a row or 4 in a row.
That's a lot. That's a lot. You just rolled natural.
Stop rolling dice today.
Yeah, I think Jamie's just going to take a break. I think today's just been too much for her. I think she's decided she's just going to go sit at the back and to chill out.
No worries.
Enjoy watching everyone else be successful for the day.
Vega, you do look at this statue, and you look at Reek, sort of grabbing at this object, and it does seem to have some sort of like weird, like you've seen a key before, and you know when you've seen a lock before, and you're like, it does seem to have some sort of like key features to it. Wait, what did you roll? Did I?
I don't know. You didn't ask. I got an 8.
Fuck! I just started giving you shit. An 8.
Yeah, I was just gonna stay sharp.
yeah, well played. That advantage.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's a key. It's holding a key. Anybody else like to roll investigation check?
So the object it's holding is a key, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a key. Cool.
But as Emma
I mentioned
found out, or Reek found out, it's like solid stone and part of the stonework.
I'd like to try an investigation.
Roll investigation check.
Who do we?
You'll notice
think
that
this-
Theros is sort of like stood next to you and will help you, give you advantage.
Okay, good. Okay, excellent. That was a nat 20.
Well, I'll take a card. Succeed
is
on
sort
an
of
attack
restored.
roll.
Advantage on another attack roll.
No, succeed.
Succeed.
You,
Nice.
At any point, you can just choose to succeed on an attack roll.
I've rolled 3 nat 20s today. Also, without advantage, it was a nat 1. So
That was a good job you rolled advantage then. Otherwise, I'd have been looking at 6 cards. But, alas, here we are. Where are you looking?
initially, I'm looking at the axe man because
Those
that figure has led our way thus far. But I'm also curious about this new figure as well.
Cool. You walk towards Il Shalou, and at the base of the statue, you can see a keyhole. And you literally turn, and Vega tells you there's a key here. And then you're looking at them, and you can see that they're making direct eye contact with one another.
Well, I found the hole.
Ominous thing to say.
Oh, for the key to go into.
It's over there. Well, I'm not sure how we can get the key into it.
It's solid stone.
Am I missing something really obvious?
I feel like we need to turn one of them around.
Can we move the statue?
You can certainly attempt to. Which one? The smaller one?
I guess.
The Il Shalou statue is like massive compared to the humanoid one.
Yeah, all right. Then Vega will, I guess, give a nod to whoever is nearby to be like, let's try and shove this and see what happens.
How many of you are going to attempt to push this thing? Because Theros isn't going to help.
I will
Alright.
try. Can I ask
So-
a question first, though?
Cool. Yes?
You said there was a pool of water.
Yeah, so you're all stood in water.
Oh, right. And it's like knee deep or so?
Just ankle deep.
Just ankle deep. Oh, so it's just like generally. Okay. Yeah, that gives me nothing.
No.
Based on that, 'cause I wasn't aware of that before, Elder Green will be looking around trying to not be in the water.
You can't. If you wanted a water, you'd like, it's all floor. All the floor is water.
But Elder Green will be looking very uncomfortable.
Ooh, actually, I might be able to do that.
Who would like to lead with advantage the strength check? I was like, no, I'm a dex paladin.
I can
And
do.
as a monk, if I can make a dex check, that would be great.
No.
I can do the strong thing.
I thought I might have the push, carry, lift more than twice your weight or whatever it is, but I don't.
No worries. So it's advantage.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What role is it?
Just an athletics check.
Athletics. Oh, brilliant. I'm great at these. And that's an advantage. Excellent. So that is 18, 26.
do it. All like you, Zoxa, Vega, Reek, Elder Green, and the regular human all grab onto this statue and start heaving it. And Malice, because you're the one that kind of noticed the eye contact thing, you're looking up at it as you're like moving it, sweat going down your brow. And as you look, a bit of sweat goes in your eye and you wipe it out. And as you look up again, you notice that they've stopped making eye contact and the stone key turns to gold.
Ah!
Oh, shall I go fetch it?
Yeah, go grab it.
Oh, go.
If you would, please.
You fly up and you pull the key out and it slots out very comfortably.
Great. And where's the hole?
Just over there.
I'll go and put it in the hole.
Sweet. You land on to the next to the statue, and as you put the key into the hole, you hear this, and the water around your feet starts swirling. And before you can even think, it starts traveling up your body, around you, and then suddenly you feel this drop as your stomach goes up into your chest, and you are just barreling through, almost like like a slide when you're a kid, like in a water park. You're like, ah! And then you're splooshed out. You look up, Jamie, Malice, and a
Just
goblin.
thinking of the Scooby-Doo, with all of them at different, like
Literally.
going around each other.
Ica Cheeks, Jamie, and Malice look up, and you see the sun beating down on you. Vega and Zoxa, you look up, only seeing each other, and you are surrounded in a body of water in a jungle. Elder Green and Theros, both looking very uncomfortable.
I'll be in my shell.
Yeah. You just hear from outside your shell, now I'm all wet. And Reek, with the very normal man, also in a body of water within this jungle. You are somewhere completely different, separated. And that is where we'll end today's session. Thank you very much for watching this bloody epic goings on today. Gosh, a lot of roleplay. A lot of puzzles. I love a good puzzle. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And if you enjoyed the show, we are going to be playing every Monday at 6 p.m. GMT and 10 a.m. PT. And then that'll be alternating I think, with Liz's campaign, I believe.
Oh,
No?
Sean.
No.
Viscous cycle.
Sean, thank you. Sean under the Viscous Cycle, and that's on a Tuesday. Oh, no, that's going to alternate. Oh, fuck it. You'll find out.
Your Mondays, and then
My
Sean's on
Mondays.
Tuesdays.
Shows on Tuesdays. Viscous Cycle. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. You can find all our content archived on YouTube, youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions. If you'd like to listen to those, search for Roll Together RPG on all your podcasting apps. Massive thank you again to our D20 Club on Patreon. There'll be a link in chat now if you want to join, please. These guys are amazing. They help us do what we're doing. And if you'd like to be part of that, then join us on the Discord as well. Big thanks to our sponsors here at Forge Ultra Pro, Elderwood Academy, and supporters of D&D Beyond, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and Level Up Dice and Warriors of Waterdeep. We're all of social media as Roll Together RPG, and see you for episode 3 in this new jungly place. See you soon.